Greetings for a great Pesach. Greetings for a Chag Kasher V'Sameach, a happy holiday, a healthy holiday, one filled with many mitzvot, and it should be a kosher holiday. We should be able to fulfill all the commandments as commanded in the Torah. You know that if we think about food and family, but if we think about the notion of Pesach and its relationship to family, it's a very deep connection. Not only do we have our families for Pesach, but the original Pesach, the first time the Jews gathered at the Seder in Egypt to have the very first Seder, it was according to their families. They took a sheep each for each family. And sometimes they would include their neighbors as well. And so the idea of mishpacha goes hand in hand with the Seder. Now, you say, why? Well, what is Pesach all about? Pesach is about Asher Bracha Banim Kolam, that God chose us from all the nations and took us out of Egypt. He didn't want us to just assimilate among the Egyptians. He wanted us to be free and to be separate. And on Pesach, we became a nation. We became a separate and distinct nation. Vayisham L'goy, we became a distinct, Mitsuyanim, we were distinct as a nation in Egypt. We retained our distinctness and we left as a separate nation. And the question is, how do you build a nation? And you might think, you have leaders and they get everyone together and they rally around Mount Sinai and that's how you have a nation. No, Pesach says no. Pesach says you want to have a nation? It starts with families. It's one big family. It's one big family nation, but it also begins with each one in their own family. You want to have a strong nation? You have strong families. The families are the building blocks of that nation. The Seder speaks of God, that God chose us to be a nation. He took us to be a nation, to be his people. But first, we have to be outstanding families. Very next discussion, after the 4 languages of redemption, after which we have 4 cups, after which we have the notion of 4 languages of redemption. God will save us. Different languages of God taking us out and saving us and making us his nation. What do we have? A family tree of motion. Why? Because it's all about families. We count the families, family of Reuven, family of Shimon, family of Levi, the family of Moshe, the family of Aaron. And through that notion of family, we create a Jewish people. At the Seder, we sit with our children and they ask questions and we try to give them answers. Why? Because if you want the children to be part of that covenant, they have to buy in. They have to connect with it. They have to agree to it. And how do they buy in? By questions and answers, by learning, by teaching, by telling stories. And we tell them that story. And when we answer those questions, hopefully we answer in a satisfactory way so that the children are now part of that breed, part of that covenant with us. They may say, what's all this for you? But somehow you tell them about the way it was and the way it could be and why it is. And hopefully the children buy into it so that you create a new family that's once again committed to the Torah, to the mitzvot, as we know it. And that's why children are such an important part of the Seder. Children are an important part of the Seder because we're trying to form a family, and through family, we'll create a nation. Sometimes we wonder, we gather the family for the Seder. Is it more about the family or is it more about the Seder? What is our ultimate value? Is it family or is it religion? Are we just trying to have a nice cohesive family, or are we trying to have a religious family, or what is it really all about? And my answer would be that it really goes together. Our families, they're stronger when they're about something, or when the family has goals. Now you can be a little bit like this, a little bit like that. There are different ways of achieving those goals. Each one has their own way, but we do have a goal together to be a family connected to the Torah, connected to the mitzvot, to fulfill some sense of our tradition of what it was in the past. And therefore, we are committed to having a real family event, getting everyone together for Pesach. And we're also committed to that national value and national heritage that we have called the Torah. And it goes together. Together, our family is stronger because We're dedicated to a purpose. We have a collective goal. Our family is stronger, and our nation is stronger because we have those families. Our nation is stronger because the families are united together toward that purpose. So, as we gather with our families, hopefully this Pesach, if you don't have family, we'll hopefully have friends, neighbors over you. Feel like your congregation is your family. You can come to shul and experience the families together, other families together. As we experience that, let's remember that family is an important value. It's part of Pesach, and that our families are all about Torah, and that as families, we're building something. We have a goal, we have a purpose. We're building a nation, family after family. We are building the Jewish people, the Jewish nation, the children of Israel, family of Israel, and family by family, just like Jacob's family long ago, we can build a nation. And hopefully one day that nation will be redeemed, and we will fulfill our ultimate purpose together as families and as a national family in the land of Israel. L'shana haba Yerushalayim. Next year in Jerusalem, wish everyone Chag Hasher Sameach, a wonderful Pesach holiday. Thank you.